One cold and bleak December day, a year or so ago, a winter's storm blew from the north with icy winds and snow. That night, the children, Tess and I, were trapped within our house. Amanda whined and Billy squirmed. Both kids began to grouse. 3 more days till Christmas Eve. Our tree was up and lit. The presents all were neatly wrapped. We'd finished every bit. What should we do? I asked my wife. At last, Tess said, I know. I'll make some snacks and then we'll watch our favorite Christmas show. A Christmas Carol came to life upon our TV screen. The old one with Alistair Sim as Scrooge the tight and mean. We sat entranced by this quaint film with characters we knew. Bob Cratchit, Tim, old Marley's ghost, and Scrooge's poor nephew. Then came that phrase, that famous line when Scrooge was wished good cheer. Bah, humbug, was his swift reply. Now go, get out of here. The moment Scrooge had said those words, there came a small bright flash, a puff of smoke, a gust of wind. Then from our tree, a crash. I went to check the Christmas tree and saw our tabby cat. A broken glass ball ornament lay near to where he sat. Bad cat, said I with angry voice, a gruff and grumbly scold. One more like that, my furry friend, and you're out in the cold. Our kitty gave me not a glance and would not heed my plea, but stared transfixed at something there just underneath the tree. Yet when I looked to where he gazed, a sound came from nearby. It was a kind of giggling laugh. Then something caught my eye. I saw a most amazing sight, for there upon the rug, wedged in between 2 presents, was the oddest-looking bug. He wore a coat and large white gloves, big shoes and dapper vest. Striped stockings covered both his legs, gold buttons up his chest. When he knew I had spotted him, he took off in a flash, with 2 big double somersaults, then up the tree did dash. I looked and looked all through the tree, searched branches high and low. But nowhere was that little bug. I said, where could he go? What's that you said? Tess called to me, my head still in a daze. Nothing, dear, it's just the cat. He's going through a phase. Next morning it was bright and clear. I hopped right out of bed. Those visions in our Christmas tree I must have dreamt, I said. But when I reached the living room and opened up the door, our Christmas lights lay all around, spread out across the floor. At first, I didn't understand. What could have happened here? But then I thought, last night, of course, that bug. It all came clear. I shoveled snow most of that day, and then I fixed the tree. But as I did, thoughts of that bug kept coming back to me. When evening came, I checked each branch before going to bed. I found no sign of that strange bug, thinking he must have fled. I tossed and turned throughout that night till it was light outside, then rubbed my eyes, put on my robe, my mind preoccupied. Just then the kids came running in to tell us, come and see. You won't believe what's happened now. The tinsel's off the tree. We hurried off to view the scene. Indeed, it was complete, for all the silver tinsel now lay strewn about our feet. What could have caused this? Billy asked. I dared not say a word, for who'd believe some bug's to blame? It sounded so absurd. I searched each corner of our house. That bug had left no trace. I knew I'd have to wait till dark to find his hiding place. So carefully I wound the clock, set the alarm for 3, then placed it neath my pillow so no one would wake but me. Just as I planned, I woke at 3 and slipped out of my bed. Then as I tiptoed down the hall, a sound came from ahead. I held my breath and listened close. Some music I could hear. A song of sorts, a silly one from somewhere very near. Diddly-do, diddly-dee, I am a humbug, humbug.
Drop an ornament, here it goes flat, and blame it on a silly old cat. Widdly-woo, widdly-woo! I'm a humbug, humbug's me. off of the trees.
What made this odd song stranger still was in between each verse, I heard a kind of munching sound, which made the song much worse. At last I knew the time had come to catch him by surprise. I flipped the switch, it was too bright. I had to squint my eyes. One quick step back, oops, there's the cat, a spin and then a jump. I tripped over my own 2 feet and landed with a thump. The bug was gone. He'd disappeared almost into thin air. And when I looked around the room, popcorn was everywhere. Oh no, I thought, that munching noise, the one I'd heard before, he'd eaten all our popcorn strings and would have eaten more. The ruckus woke the kids and Tess. They all came in to see me sitting there upon the floor amidst all the debris. We gathered round the Christmas tree, our spirits at a low. What's happening? Amanda sighed. At last I said, I know. I told them of the little bug and of his serenade, his purple vest and great big shoes and all the tricks he'd played. Then to the kids, Tess said, your dad, he's not himself today. So let's all just go back to bed. I'm sure he'll be okay. They turned to go. I said, hey, wait, there's nothing wrong with me. This humbug really does exist. I'll catch him. Then you'll see. That day I drilled and sawed and glued, and when the evening came, I'd made a perfect, foolproof trap to end this humbug's game. With all asleep and in their beds, I settled in my chair, alert, awake, and ready now. That humbug I would snare. The next thing I remember was the kids upon my lap. Wake up, they said, it's Christmas Day, no time to take a nap. I sat up straight and blinked my eyes, then realized with woe I'd missed that humbug once again. Then cried, the tree, oh no! I focused on our Christmas tree, expecting all the worst. But what I saw, I must admit, caught me off guard at first. No ornament was out of place, the presents all still there. Each colored light was brightly lit, the tinsel hung with care. Yet overnight the tree had changed, each branch now danced with light. The room filled with a magic glow, a truly wondrous sight. We stood in awe that Christmas day when something else I spied. 4 tiny gifts hung from a branch, wrapped up and neatly tied. On each small box a name appeared in writing neat and trim. Amanda's, Billy's, Tess and mine. I knew they were from him. In Billy's box a silver coin, a magic one it seems, for when he tossed it in the air, it glistened like moonbeams. Amanda's held the smallest bear, dressed like a tiny clown, with golden fur as soft as silk, and eyes of deepest brown. Oh my, said Tess, unwrapping hers, I can't believe it's true. This bracelet, lost 10 years ago, was my first gift from you. What's your gift, Dad? Amanda asked. Let's take a look, I said. We opened it. I peeked inside, then slowly shook my head. For in that box an ornament that meant so much to me, an angel I'd loved as a boy upon my grandma's tree. That day our lives were filled with joy. The only wish I had was that my children trust my words, believing their old dad. Just then a card dropped from a branch. I caught it in midair and read aloud to everyone the greeting written there. To all of you, thanks for the fun. Be well and have good cheer. With humbug blessings on your home. I'll see you all next year.